following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee. Welcome in to Friday edition of Main Street Sports. Today, made it to the Friday, almost the weekend. Joining us today, Landon SECREST at Seco Sports. Talk a little NBA Finals action. Game 4 tonight in Beantown. He'll preview that and react to games 1, 2, and 3. Also, our daily Braves chatter as well. The Dubs just keep on coming. College football coaches, maybe some we missed on with our initial thoughts. We'll own up to it. Don't know if they're necessarily our personal thoughts on that in the beginning, but some that may have missed the boat. That and so much more. It is the Friday edition of Main Street Sports Today. Here are your hosts, the Hall of Famer Mo Patton and the Sun Drop Kid from Alabama, one Christopher Yao.
Hey, what's up? It is Friday and final show of the week. Looking forward to next week when y'all don't have to see me. You don't have to come back, but it'll be better if you do. Exactly. Trust me. Show will be just fine. It's not going to hurt anybody. Man, we got a lot going on today. And Mo, how's Friday going?
It's going. It's, like you said, it's the last day of the week for the show anyway. And already planning for next week has begun. So it never ends.
This is the show that never ends.
Literally. Yeah.
Goes on and on, my friends. On and on and on. Again, hope you guys are ready for a lot of stuff to come your way. JP told you about all the things coming. So we'll get into it because our top story today is Tony La Russa is an idiot. At this point, which I know that they pretty well overachieved last year, but he's made some boneheaded calls as the manager of the Chicago White Sox. But I don't think I have ever seen a manager intentionally walk someone who already had 2 strikes on him. Already had 2 strikes. I don't get it. The batting average in Major League Baseball when a player has 2 strikes on them is just lower than low. To intentionally walk Trey Turner, who hasn't played well this year at all anyway, in order to get a lefty-lefty matchup with Max Muncy, who admittedly coming off an injury hadn't been playing much.
And hadn't been playing well.
When he did play. But you had 2 strikes on a guy. You intentionally walk him, and Max Muncy makes you pay. Goes Apo Taco. 3-run jack.
I'm trying to find exactly what the situation was. I think there was a runner on base ahead of Trey Turner who moved up on a wild pitch, I think, to open up first base in that situation, and Turner down in the count 1-2 when they decided to put him on. And it was was it 10-2 at the time? No, it was
no, it wasn't.
7-2.
Yeah.
White Sox over the Dodgers. And like you said, Muncy makes them pay with a 3-run home run to make it 7-5, and the Dodgers went on to win it 11-9, I believe. So, but over the course of Tony La Russa's managerial career, he's been an out-of-the-box guy. He's batted the pitcher 8th when he was in the National League where there was no DH and different things like that. And, he's been accepted throughout his career as a forward thinker and that kind of thing. But, you know, there's no real explanation other than him blustering through and being the smartest guy in the room and that kind of thing for intentionally walking a guy that you've got 2 strikes on. And even if you can explain it in the vacuum, I think you certainly got to be able to step back and say once Muncy hits a home run that, okay, all right, we guessed wrong. I mean, you got to be able to own your mistakes in that spot. But instead, he doubles down and says, it wasn't a tough decision. Should have been a tough decision.
Or maybe it wasn't a tough decision. It might have been the wrong one, but it clearly wasn't difficult. He made it fairly quickly.
According to Yahoo Sports, here's the way the conversation went post game. Is there some question about whether that was a good move or not? You know what he hits against left-handed pitching? With 0-1 or 2 strikes, you know what he hits? You know what Muncy hits with 2 strikes against left-handed pitching? Is that really a question? Because it was 1 and 2? Turner was a strike left against a left-hander, something you can avoid if you can. We had an open base, and Muncy happened to be the guy behind him, and that's the better matchup. If somebody disagrees, that's the beauty of this game. Welcome to it. That wasn't a tough call.
Well, I mean, again, it's not like he just randomly decided to do this. I mean, when Freeman moved up on the wild pitch, it left the base open. And so you go, okay, I guess I can see that.
With 2 strikes?
Well, I mean, no, but I'm just saying, it's not just a random decision. It wasn't like the base had been open the entire at bat and he was like, you know what? I know we got 2 strikes on, but let's put him on anyway. You know, it was at least somewhat calculated. I don't know.
As you like to say, okay.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm not defending.
I mean,
move. I'm just saying that
it's not just 2 strikes. I mean, it's 1 and 2, and it's not 3 and 2, and you just conceded a pitch.
Right? You conceded
it's
3.
1 and 2. I mean, heck, throw him 2 more pitches off the plate. Maybe you get him to swing at one of them.
That's true. You could intentionally walk him without intentionally walking him.
Unintentionally, intentionally walk him. Yeah. There's a lot of things you could do other than just put him on right there.
Well, Ben Clemens, who, you know, Fangraphs goes into it. And do you know how hard it is to hit with 2 strikes? After a 1-2 count, the league is hitting 167. In Muncy's career, he has a 132. He's better against left-handers than he is against right-handers. So much higher average, according to Clemens.
I just feel like I'd rather pitch to Turner with the base open and maybe walk him, but pitch to him than put him on and pitch to Muncy with runners first and second. When I'm up in the count.
71% chance of him would have been out.
Turner.
Yes. So there you go.
I think you take that.
One would think.
But we're not Tony La Russa. And
we don't get paid the big bucks like he.
I'm not sure how much longer he's going to get paid the big bucks, but
I guess.
He's earned that decision making, though, hasn't he?
Has he?
I mean, he won a couple World Series, didn't he?
This guy hadn't managed in 10 years when the White Sox brought him back.
But
I mean, they basically went and rescued him from the old folks' home. He's 78 years old.
Okay.
77, excuse me.
Well,
and I tell you, He walks around that dugout. If you look at clips of him in the White Sox dugout, it looks like he's about half awake.
He may only be half awake.
And that was the half that put Trey Turner on base with 2 strikes yesterday.
Well, they were pretty bad before he got there, and he went to the playoffs last year. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, I mean, yeah, he's earned a little bit. I'll give him that. So,
I guess my question would become, though, at what point do his credentials stop overshadowing his current? At what point does it become a "what have you done for me lately" type situation, like it is for most guys in that position?
And that's on the GM in the front office there. You're right.
Sure.
I mean, yes, he has earned the right to make crazy decisions. Does that mean that he should still be doing them? Those are two different questions.
White Sox are 3 games under 500. They're 5 games back in the American League Central, and they have a minus 57 run differential, which is 4th worst in the American League.
but he won 93.
Now Tim Anderson is hurt, but that's not all of that.
But he won 93 games last year.
He's not going to win 93 games this year.
I didn't say he was. I'm just saying that, yes, JP has a point. He has earned a little bit of grace. I don't like him. I mean, one, he won the Cardinals in general is one reason not to like him. But you got to respect the career. Now, if the White Sox want to keep doing what they're doing, that's on them. If it were the Braves, I'd be much more inclined to give a crap, but I don't.
I mean, I don't care. It's just,
you're just asking the question, overall.
Well, I mean, as a baseball fan, you want to see good baseball. That was not it.
No, that was just dumb. Just dumb.
And how many other managers would be any kind of way defended for making a similar decision? If Dusty Baker had done that, would we be talking about, well, he's won a World Series, he's won 2,000 games? Would that be the reaction?
It would for me. Dusty Baker's earned it. Now, if, what's the guy in New York?
Which one?
The Yankees dude. What's his name? He don't get that.
Who is Boone?
Yeah, Aaron Boone. He don't get that. No, you're an idiot. You got to go. But yeah, I mean, I feel like if you won a World Series or 2 and you know what you're doing and you've won 2,000 games, yeah, you get that. Look, you made a call, interesting call, but you made it and go on. It is crazy that they lost the game though. They ended up losing after they were being up 7-2.
Yeah.
All right, let's send it to JP because we have a lot going on in the rundown this week because it's the weekend rundown. Still a page though. Still only one page, JP. The weekend rundown, 1 page. So you don't have a lot to worry about. So,
okay. All right. You ready?
Here you go.
Here's the rundown. The Friday Rundown is brought to you by Chip Walters of Exit Realty Bob Lamb and Associates. The voice of the Blue Raiders also wants to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Contact Chip at 615-542-1915 or through his website at choosechip.net. Chip Walters, proud to support local youth sports in southern Middle Tennessee. Yes, he is, and we are thankful for that. Looking at the rundown today. This monitor. There we go. All right, coming over here. Thursday results. Diamondbacks 5-4 winners over the Reds last night. It was the Rays 2-1 over the Cardinals. Phillies defeat the Brewers 8-3. And the Braves continue their winning ways 3-1 over the Pirates. 8 in a row.
Pirates.
As the Braves go with their dubs, the Sounds appear to go with their L's. Norfolk took both games of a 7-inning doubleheader last night at First Horizon Park, 5-4, 5-3. Oklahoma in the College World Series, 10-5 winners over Texas
Women's
and
College World
women's, and that sealed the deal. Did that not?
It did.
Sealed the deal. Oklahoma, just as our gentleman predicted, would win the College World Series.
Did not go 3 games, as one of us.
Yes.
No, it did not.
NHL last night, the Lightning 3-1 winners over the Rangers, and they take a lead in that series.
3-1?
3-2.
3-1.
Is it 3-1?
3-1.
Game 5. You're right. Game 5 is tonight. I was looking down.
No, it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, whenever. It's on the schedule. I'll get to it in just a moment. Stand by.
They take a 3-1 lead in the series.
Weekend schedule coming up. Cubs at the Yankees, Brewers and Washington. The Pirates continue their series in Atlanta.
Why did
Reds
I write
and Cardinals.
Washington? Why did I write Washington?
Good.
I have the nickname
Natties.
of every other team except the Nationals.
It happens.
I guess.
It
Sorry,
happens.
continue.
People know what they are. Norfolk continues the series in Nashville against the Sounds.
They don't even know what they are. Nationals.
Nationals, yeah. Sometimes they don't. College baseball super regionals underway today. Currently, it is the top of the 8th. East Carolina leads Texas 8-7 in the 8-9 game 1, and Virginia Tech trailing Oklahoma in the top of the first. 1-0. Oklahoma has gotten on board, and they still are batting in the the top of the first there. Later on today, Notre Dame at Tennessee. That is a 5 o'clock Central start on ESPN2. And at 7:30 tonight on ESPN, Louisville is at Texas A&M. Other weekend super regionals, Arkansas and North Carolina, Ole Miss at Southern Miss, Auburn and Oregon State, UConn and Stanford. Those all commence on Saturday. Game 4 tonight of the NBA Finals, the Warriors and the Celtics, 8 p.m. ABC. The Celtics hold a 2-1 lead. We'll talk with Landon Secrest about this series coming up around 3 o'clock today. Saturday, Game 5, as we mentioned, the Rangers at the Lightning, 7 o'clock. Tampa Bay can finish off the Rangers in a win there. It's on ESPN Saturday night. Sunday, NASCAR is in Sonoma, California, and 3 p.m. Central start on FS1, the Toyota Save Mart 350. And Saturday evening, Nashville SC against San Jose, and that is a 7 o'clock first touch. That out in San Jose. Is that correct? No, you said at Nashville. Gotcha. Sorry, soccer, because they always put the home team
On the top.
first,
It's very weird.
but you had at, so I got to pay attention to that. Speaking of paying attention, that is your Friday Rundown brought to you by ChooseShip.net.
All right, we'll take a quick break. And when we come back, we will unfortunately have to forego our weekly visit with Jeff Him. He is unavailable today, and that's okay. But I do want to mention fireworks tonight. If you are headed to First Horizon, be prepared to stay through the game because fireworks will commence after the ball game.
Ooh.
Waiting on it all year long.
Ooh.
When we come back, we will talk about a little unique situation out in Vegas in the Raiders organization. So stick around. Main Street Sports
You
Safety.
just use Raiders and unique.
This is unique because they're actually doing good things, normal things. So we'll be back after this. Main Street Sports Day presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports.
Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones and Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones and Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Alamo, Patton, JP Plant here on this Friday edition. Glad to have you guys with us. So yeah, unique situation out in Vegas as they are, doing normal things. They've restructured a few deals. Obviously, did so and then signed Devontae Adams through a trade with the Green Bay Packers. Hunter Renfrow, the former Clemson Tiger, who was literally there for 12 years at least.
Did you say 12 as
yes,
well?
I did.
So it must have been there for 12. Then.
Hey, back in the day, if two reporters said it, it happened. So, Max Crosby, the pass rusher, who is a fantastic pass rusher.
Two X's
on Max. That's right. Ooh, baby, he's a double XL. And Derek Carr, the quarterback, all get restructured deals. Renfrow got a 2-year extension, by the way, $32 million, 21 guaranteed, from a guy who was decent in college for a really good team with really good quarterbacks and really crappy competition. He was meh. I mean, he wasn't bad, but he wasn't like their number one guy.
But it felt like every big pass he caught.
Sure. But do you know that he caught 103 passes for the Raiders last year? 103. Do you know what the record is for most passes caught by a Raider in a season?
103.
104 by Tim Brown. Now, he had an extra game. Renfrow did.
Still, they couldn't find a way to get him 2 more balls.
103 passes. This guy never caught more than 62 passes in a year for Clemson. Caught double that.
Who else was there, though?
I cannot give you a single receiver. Justin, what's his name? Was he there at the time? At any point?
He wasn't the best receiver on any of those Clemson teams.
No, and yet
he caught 103 balls for the Raiders last year. Yeah.
So this is where I'm a little, how many times do you see guys who were just kind of, maybe really good, slot guys that, for college, but he's got to be one of the most unusual people to get a big NFL contract. Like, kind of like what we were talking about, later with college football coaches, we thought were going to be hits and were misses. This is a guy you didn't expect to be that good, and now he's the number one receiver. Well, I guess he's now number 2 with Devontae Adams, but I mean, $21 million guaranteed.
And this guy looks more like a coach
His
than
shirtless
a
picture,
player.
his shirtless picture looks worse than Brady's from the combine.
I'm looking at an article, and I hesitate to acknowledge, but I'm looking at an article from the Greenville News in Greenville, South Carolina. Hunter Renfrow, a former college football walk-on, has the third highest salary among 8 former Clemson football wide receivers in the NFL.
Okay. That's it's remarkable.
It really is.
And now you pair him up with Devontae Adams.
I don't know if DeAndre Hopkins and Mike Williams were there at the same time that he was there.
I don't think so.
Justin Ross is who you were
Ross,
thinking
that's
about. But his numbers stack up well with Hopkins and Williams, apparently. I think Mike Williams might have been there when he was there.
Yes, Mike Williams was there.
T. Higgins was after him.
I don't know. He was there for so long. His senior year might have been Higgins.
Sammy Watkins and Amari Rogers.
Sammy Watkins was.
Yeah.
But Sammy was a little older than him.
Yeah.
I mean, Renfrow was there with Watson and
when did he graduate?
18.
Renfrow had 2,133 receiving yards and 15 touchdowns
in his
from
career.
15 to 18.
In his career. It's insane.
15 to 18.
But he's the one who caught the game winner in 15 against Alabama from Deshaun Watson.
In the front corner
Yes.
of the end zone. Yeah.
On the not pick play.
I mean, yeah.
Might have been. Maybe not. I don't know. But that just, that tells you how long he was there. Man. Anyway, I just didn't expect Hunter Renfrow to be, out here making money.
Not that kind of money.
And then Devontae Adams comes in and, obviously feeling a void left there, and says, hey, guys, all that stuff that y'all wrote about me wanting to get out of Green Bay, taking less money to do so if I needed to, it's all true. 100% true. If you heard it, it was true. And one of the little nuggets that he dropped in there was like, I couldn't risk my career for Rodgers to be there for a year or two.
Yeah.
So he clearly thinks that Rodgers is getting ready to hang it up.
Well, even if he doesn't think Rodgers is getting ready to hang it up,
you never know.
No,
you never know.
And as a receiver, you're basically only as good as the guy getting the ball to you.
He said, I love Jordan Love, but yeah.
There's always a but.
It's like I tell Sarah all the time, like if we get into a fight and she'll apologize, you say, I'm sorry, but if you have to say but, you're not sorry. If you have to say but, you don't love me.
I'm going to leave that conversation between you and
that's just in general. Yeah. That's just in general. I don't
disagree with the concept. I'm just not sure that's the example I would have used.
Well, it is. It's the example that I have. It's my real life example. I mean, if I say I love you, but I probably don't love
you. And if you say I'm sorry, but then you're
probably not sorry.
Probably not sorry. Yeah. So.
Devontae Adams, man.
JP.
Yes.
Can we activate some type of a ring camera or something at the Yow House tonight?
She's just stopped watching the show to make sure that she doesn't get angry with me and drive up here.
It's a wise decision.
It really is.
Wise decision.
I can say just about anything, and the only person going to tell her my dad. Sarah, you know what he said about you?
I can see Chuck doing that.
Oh, he would too. He'd tattletale.
Chuck's a snitcher.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to be entertained somehow.
That's true.
I mean, you got to find you entertainment.
Where do you think I got chaos from?
Chuck doesn't know the snitches get stitches.
Well, he's not worried about it for me. What am I going to do? Beat up a cripple man? Come on.
Wow.
I'm just saying, how am I supposed to get back at him? it just makes me look even that much more worse.
That much more worse.
Exactly.
Proverbial lose-lose in
It
your
is.
case,
It is
right?
exactly a
Yeah.
lose-lose.
Definition of a lose-lose situation for one Christian.
So what am I gonna do?
Just sit there and take it. Huh?
Take it.
There you go. Wow.
I can tell you, he's probably falling out of his chair laughing right now. There's no question, he's laughing his butt
Well,
off.
hey, as long as we're entertaining Chuck,
Hey,
Yeah.
that's really all we're here for.
But Mo just sits there and says, "Does that make you feel better, Chuck? You feel better? Okay.
there we go.
You feel better about yourself?"
Good job. Good job.
Let's take a break, and I'll complain about my mom on the other side of it.
Well done.
Stick around.
Ding, ding.
Main Street Sports Day presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. Back after this.
Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Young, Mo Patton, JP Plant here with you on this Friday edition. Glad to have you with us. And the Atlanta Braves have claimed first baseman Mike Ford off of waivers from the Seattle Mariners and optioned him to AAA Gwinnett. To make room on the 40-man roster, they designated infielder Joseph Denand for assignment. Not heard of any of these people.
I don't know either of those people. I don't know them.
I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
And
hopefully I won't have to.
Yeah. The Atlanta Braves going for 9 in a row tonight. Ronald Acuna Jr. back in right field, leading off. Swanson, Riley, Olson, Darno, Albies, Contreras, Duvall, and Harris. Spencer Strider on the bump. You can watch it on Bally Sports Southeast if you have Bally. If you don't, too bad. Because
here's what's interesting.
Uh-huh.
The Pirates are also starting Contreras.
Which one?
On the bump.
I
don't know. I don't know who Contreras for Pittsburgh is.
There's a lot of them out there.
Apparently.
There's a William and a Wilson. Is this one
I don't
Wally?
know if they're related or not.
This is Wilbur.
Walter.
It's one of those. I don't know. It's no, there's a, I like that lower third, JP. Yeah, we were 8 in a row. Big win last night. Max Fried gets the dub, gives up just a single solo home run.
You like it today? Yeah, you were what? Remember, I interrupted you and told you what I was doing yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Just
Well, that's
keeping
good. I
keeping it
appreciate
going.
Oh, that's yeah. Oh, it's sticking until they lose. I mean,
well, they've not lost since that team meeting.
Right.
No, so
Roansy Contreras. Roansy Contreras. Roansy, I guess. I don't know.
Ronzi.
He's a rookie. He's listed as a relief pitcher, 22 years old.
Well, so basically, this is going to be the worst night ever for pitching in the Spencer Strider and Roansy Contreras, who are both relief pitchers.
1-0 with a 1.93 ERA is Mr. Contreras.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe not then.
So we'll see.
Should be look.
Strider 1-2 with a 2.76. He's thrown well in his 2 starts.
Yeah, when he is expected to go several innings, he pitches better for whatever reason, and I think you have to take that into consideration when you are using him. I mean, yeah, the 100-mile-an-hour heat sounds great in a 1-inning situation, but if he feels more comfortable in long relief or as a starter giving you 4 or 5 innings, I don't know why you don't just let him go.
And his secondary pitches seem to allow him to be effective over long stretches.
His changeup is disgusting.
Well, for a guy who's touching 100 with his fastball.
Yeah, I mean, changeup is 92. I saw Tom House tweeted the other day. He said, my fastball was 12 miles an hour slower than this guy's changeup. Thank God I played when I did. So
that to say, if you're not following Tom House on Twitter, what are you doing with your life?
I really don't know what you're doing with the Twitter if you're not following it. But yeah, so Braves continued their series with the Pirates after the win last night. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the standings today, but the Braves continue to chop into that Mets lead. It's now 6.5.
Chopping into the lead of the National League East Division champions. You mean?
Yeah, according to them and Sal. Mm-hmm. The Angels continue to get slaughtered. The Brewers, ever since they started messing with the Sounds rotation, have not played well, nor have the Sounds. So what? I mean, what's the deal? The world is upside down right now.
Oh, there's only one team that I'm concerned with being upside down, and I'm glad they are right now.
No question.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Contreras getting the start tonight. That'd be William in the 7 spot, and all he does is hit for extra bases.
Unless he hits it too hard.
Yeah.
Then he only gets a single.
He only gets a single. Yeah. Really like what this team is doing right now. And there's an article on The Athletic about, this stretch since the team meeting before the series finale against Arizona, and how there wasn't any paint peeled. There wasn't any furniture thrown or destroyed or anything like that. Just Snitker telling everybody we're better than this and let's play like it. And, if that's all it took, why did we wait 50 something games? I don't know. But, they've won 8 straight, as JP has pointed out in the graphic. And, they're not going to go undefeated, but it's nice to see them, as we've said so often, taking advantage of this stretch in the schedule. And they swept a not very good Oakland team, as Mets fans have pointed out. They've gotten off to a good start in this series against a not great Pirates team. You know,
they're not great, but they're not bad.
They took advantage of Colorado at home, but there's something to be said for doing what you're supposed to do, as I've said on numerous occasions, because not everybody does.
Well, that's one of the things that a lot of folks said were, positive about the Mets. They were beating teams they're supposed to beat and that sort of thing. And when you start beating the teams you're supposed to beat, then you feel good about your chances no matter who you are, right? I mean, if you feel like you're supposed to be beating the Pirates and the Athletics and the Rockies,
and you do,
then you got to feel good about it. So, I well done, Atlanta. They continue their streak, 31-27 now, well over 500 at this point. So,
thank you.
Tell us what happened this day in Braves history, Mo.
June 10th, 1972, Hank Aaron's grand slam helps the Atlanta Braves to a 15-3 rout of the Phillies. It is Aaron's 649th career home run, moving him ahead of Willie Mays into second place on the career list. It is also his 14th grand slam, tying the National League record set by Gil Hodges of the Dodgers.
Boo.
Chicks dig the long ball.
Just ask Maddox and Glavin, baby. All right, when we come back, it's halftime, so stick around. Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Y'all, we'll be back after.
This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee Sports Editor, three-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
The other guy in Wham married the best looking girl in Bananarama, so the other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice.
Quick update on Super Regionals. East Carolina now 12-7, gentlemen. 12-7 over Texas. That is in the bottom of the 8th. And bottom of the 2nd, Oklahoma now with a 3 spot. They leave Virginia Tech and in Blacksburg, 3-0. That again, bottom of the 2nd. Later, of course, Tennessee Notre Dame at 5. Louisville Texas A&M at 7:30.
Now, is East Carolina the home team?
East Carolina is the home team as the 8th seed. That's correct.
Okay, but I mean, are they the home team?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
As
Well, they won't be the home team for all 3 games, I don't.
not tomorrow.
No.
They will not be.
13-7 now. Still in the bottom of the 8th. Yeah, they'll flip. The higher seed gets the home seed.
Game 1 and 3.
And then the if game. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So this halftime, we're going to go to Houston, where in 1981, police found a pair of bodies, and they were unidentified for 42 years.
Mm-hmm.
And this week, DNA testing has identified the couple, but also identified the fact that their 42-year-old daughter is alive and has been this entire time.
Man.
So I've got questions. Starting with, Who's been raising this? Who raised this woman in the 80s?
Yeah.
Did she have a new name? Did they give her a new name? What is going on? This is the wildest, because the Houston Chronicle story does not tell us any of these facts. I need to know who raised this child. Are those people suspects in the disappearance and death of their parents? This one girl's parents.
You would have to vet that out, right?
This is a wild story.
Yeah.
So they found what they called 2 mangled corpses, a young man and woman with, quote, beautiful teeth, but they couldn't identify them until earlier this year. And so now they are looking for, obviously, who committed the crimes, but the daughter is alive. And apparently one of the grandparents has reunited with this woman, and they never thought they'd see her again. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like, I need to know what has gone on these whole 40 years.
Yeah,
her story is going to be worth some money.
How does the child just kind of disappear?
And live a life without
disappear from family?
Because you got to think, they had to get a driver's license at some point. Did they have a birth certificate?
Had to be a different name,
How
right?
do you how did you get a birth certificate for a different name?
That's right. That's a good point.
This is
There's a lot.
My mind is blown.
Yeah, there's a lot here.
This is going to make the best Netflix documentary. I'm just saying, the best.
You just bypassing Lifetime, huh? Going straight to Netflix.
This is straight to Netflix.
Yeah, this is worthy of Netflix.
Man, I saw it yesterday, and I was like, I gotta ask the question, because I just got questions. I got questions, and I wanted y'all to also have questions.
Absolutely.
I didn't want to be alone with my questions. Let's get out of here. Yeah, Mo's like, I can't take it. It's hot, and it is hot. We're still without air conditioning, so we'll come back after this with the second half of Main Street Sports Today.
The city famous for its music is quiet now, but it's about to be overwhelmed by the symphony of speed. Nashville Superspeedway will be rocking from the pit to the grandstand. June 24th through 26th, the Ally 400 NASCAR Cup Series race weekend brings a mix of incredible racing and live entertainment. Tickets are going fast, so visit NashvilleSuperspeedway.com today and join the full throttle fun.
This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee Sports Editor, 3-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
Other guy Wham married the best looking girl Bananarama, so other guy Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice.
The heat's not going to keep us away from the second half of Main Street Sports Today on this Friday. Coming up, we'll be joined by LANDEN SECREST. Talking a little NBA Finals. The Celtics up 2-1 ahead of Game 4 tonight, also in Boston. We'll look ahead to the weekend, what we're looking forward to, sports, entertainment, and more. And we've got college football coaches, ones that we thought would be a hit, but were not. That's right. We'll talk about that and much more here on the second half. Back to the Hall of Famer Mo Patton and the Sundrop Kid from Alabama, Chris Yao. Gentlemen, a quick update on the Super Regionals. Now the top of the ninth, East Carolina 13-7 over Texas. So 3 or less outs away for East Carolina to win game 1. And they're into the top of the third. Oklahoma still leading Virginia Tech 3-0.
There you go. All right. It is a Friday. Second half coming your way. Do you guys follow at CFB Nerds? You should.
No.
They're
haven't heard of it.
Is a fantastic follow.
Sounds like fun, though.
Analytics-driven discussion and reasonable debate to the college football world. Okay. There's no such thing as reasonable debate in the college football world. But Kelly Ford of Kelly Ford Rankings they retweeted this from Kelly Ford. And I thought it was a fantastic graph here. The toughest schedules in college football for this upcoming season. Of the top 10, 8 of them are SEC schools.
Makes sense.
8 of 10.
8 of 10
of the top 10 have less than 0.5% chance of going undefeated.
Wonder how many of them play Alabama.
Probably all of them. All but maybe one. No, Vanderbilt probably doesn't. Maybe South Carolina.
Yeah, because
either Vanderbilt or
3, 4, 5 of those 10 are from the SEC West. So
well, then the others have to play Georgia.
Georgia,
who are the defending national champions, by the way,
who beat Alabama.
Yeah. So I mean, this is, and then you've got Tennessee, who has to play both. Yeah, Auburn has a 0.1% chance of going undefeated, and they also play both.
Play Alabama and Georgia, yeah.
So man, how incredible is this? Like,
was Vanderbilt's chance a Mr. Blutarski 0.0?
No, 0.2. Oh. They have a better chance of going undefeated than both Auburn and Mississippi State.
All right. Anchor down, baby.
See, he's got applause, but he doesn't have dings.
Yeah,
that's what came with it. I'll get your dings next
week. He does for the applause. Yeah. All of the outside of, and see, Alabama has a 0.9% chance. 0.9% chance of going undefeated. Georgia, a 2.3% chance of going
undefeated. I wonder what Alabama's chance of going undefeated was before Nick Saban's comments regarding Texas A&M.
Well, there's that. Of the top 40 toughest schedules, all 14 SEC schools are in the top 40 because they play each other.
So who's 14th? The least toughest?
Georgia.
Georgia
has a 2.3% chance of going undefeated.
That's because they're so good and they play in the East.
Well, it's yeah. So part of this is your schedule. Part of this is how good are you?
Mm-hmm.
And so Georgia has the best chance of all SEC schools of going undefeated.
Yep.
Kentucky has a better chance of going undefeated than Alabama. How do you like that? Kentucky.
Yeah. Well,
that's not true because they have to play Tennessee and, well, they can't beat them. So there's that. And it's at Neyland this year. It's not at Kroger Field where they had at least some sort of a chance last year.
They've won in Knoxville, though, before, recently, not too long ago.
Yeah, but they've also won like 3 times in the last 35 years. So.
Yeah, but those 3 have been in the last
12.
decade.
Yeah.
At least, right?
Still. Vanderbilt has beaten Tennessee more than Kentucky has.
That's true.
So I'm not real worried about UK, even though, I mean, I'm semi a fan. I'm not worried about them till they can do it consistently. If they beat us this year, great. That's wonderful, but not worried about it.
What do you classify as consistent?
If Kentucky doesn't beat Tennessee this year, they're not going to for a while.
Right. And Tennessee, but this is a good Tennessee team too. So you got to think about that. But yeah, I mean, Kentucky's just not there for me.
Kentucky, I think, is to the point where they're 8-4, 9-3, pretty consistently.
Yeah.
But
they're going to lose
one of those
Florida and
4
Tennessee.
or one of those 3 is going to be Tennessee, I feel like.
And the other is going to be Florida and Georgia.
Which isn't a bad place to be. given the history of Kentucky football.
So this kind of leads into where I was going, because Mark Stoops is one of those guys that you didn't necessarily think was going to be a big hit at
Kentucky.
Well, in general, you just didn't think he was going to be able to, have that great of a career, and he's turned it into a pretty solid career at Kentucky. And it's not easy to do. I mean, is he the winningest coach in Kentucky history now, or he's still chasing Bryant? It's close either way. He's either just recently passed him or he's going to pass him this year.
Yeah.
One of the two. I mean, this is a guy who is going to make his career at Kentucky, and more power to him. Great job. Because again, go somewhere where you can be the man. Don't try to follow anybody. Don't try to just go somewhere where you can, and here's the thing is you've got basketball that really, that takes the cake when you're talking about, the angst of Kentucky fans.
A little the pressure.
Takes
a lot less pressure.
To your comment about being the man, what is it Matt Rogers told us one time?
Go where you celebrate it, not tolerate it.
There you go.
Mark Stoops.
A lot to be said for that.
112 wins at Kentucky.
That's got to be more than Bryant had.
Bear Bryant, 88.
Okay.
Jerry Claiborne, 90. Fran Kersey, 100.
Wow.
Oh, wait a minute. I might be reading. Yeah. Oh, no.
How many?
I'm this key is odd.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Give me a second. I'll get back to that.
Well, anyway, what I was going for in this segment is completely opposite of this, but I just happened to see it. But, a college football head coach at a high profile job we expected to be awesome, and they completely crashed and burned. And, obviously it's not what we got with Kentucky.
Bear Bryant, 60 career victories
at Kentucky.
Mark Stoops, 59.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
I didn't think he'd won.
Those were games that I was reading, not wins. So, yeah, it threw me off because I couldn't see the top of the column.
Yeah. He will certainly pass him this year.
He'd better pass him this year. Yeah.
That pressure that we just talked about not having, he will certainly have
it. Yeah.
But yeah, so some college football coaches that we expected to be great and were not. Off the top of my head, I thought I'm
interested to see what you're going to come up with on this.
Well, it was off the top of my head, and I'm trying to think of who it was. It was Rich Rodriguez.
Where?
At Michigan, coming off of his success at West Virginia. Thought he was going to be and I think he's going to be good at Jacksonville State, because I think that's the level that he can coach at successfully. But obviously nobody knew that Pat White and Steve Slayton were, going to be superstars as they were. And they made him a career.
Clearly. And who knew that those guys were, generational type guys? You felt like Rich Rodriguez had more to do with it than clearly he did, because it didn't translate.
Well, it didn't translate for them, but it didn't translate for him either.
Well, I mean, it didn't translate for him,
So he
did not take that to Michigan.
Right. So, but, they didn't necessarily succeed at the professional level either. So maybe they were just perfect for one another. They really were perfect for his system.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have a lot of guys like Pat White and Steve Slayton in Michigan. That's not what the Big Ten is known for. He would have been more successful at Alabama than he would have been at Michigan.
Well, they were also playing in the Big East too, right? At that time?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's still just the style of player.
Yeah.
I mean, Pat White chose West Virginia over Alabama. He was recruited by Mike Shula to go to Alabama.
And play quarterback?
And chose to go to West Virginia instead, because Alabama was after a guy named Tim Tebow.
Well, and
they got neither, huh?
And Mike Shula would have never used Pat White the way that Rich Rodriguez did.
True.
So anyway, the long and short of it, I thought Rich Rodriguez was going to be better.
I'm going a little lower profile, but I'm going with a little less risk And this guy came to me as soon as you brought this up. Turner Gill.
Yeah.
When he went from Buffalo to Kansas, I thought he was going to kill it.
Yeah. Charlie Strong.
Relative to Kansas, killing it now.
Sure.
But he didn't even do that, which I think was probably less Turner Gill and more Kansas.
Probably. But Charlie Strong, I thought, man, this guy's a fantastic defensive coordinator. He's going to go out to Texas and just kill it. Did not.
Willie Taggart. Now,
the only thing about Willie is he had never been a coordinator.
Well, he was decent at Oregon, but Florida State, I think,
That
was
was a
such
trailer
a cesspool.
Everything was a trailer fire there.
Yeah.
Everything.
So, yeah.
Justin Fuente, when he moved from Memphis
to
Virginia Tech.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So while Chris gets himself together, we are going to take a break here on Main Street Sports Today. When we come back, we've got Landon Secrest at Seco_sports on Twitter. We're going to talk a little NBA Finals as the Celtics and Warriors try to wrap things up. You all right over there? Okay. He's good.
I'm good now. Yeah.
He's good. He'll be better when we come back. Come back with us here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, coming back at you. A couple segments left. Looking forward to talking a little NBA here with Landon Secrest as we get into the NBA Finals Game 4 coming up tomorrow night on ABC, as the Boston Celtics currently with a 2-1 lead over the Golden State Warriors. 8 p.m. tip on ABC.
Not tonight.
It's is it tonight? It is tonight. That's right. They go back to get Golden State for a Monday Game 5. So you're right. It is tonight at 8 o'clock on ABC. So raise your hand if you thought the Celtics were going to be up 2-1 right now. Yeah, nobody. Landon Secrest now joins us, though, and Landon can tell us a little bit about how the Celtics have gotten to this point against probably the heavily favored Golden State Warriors. So, Landon, welcome in.
Heavily favored coming in.
Yeah, well,
suddenly probably not so much. But,
that's right. Thanks for taking some time with us, buddy.
Hello. It's surprising to me that the Celtics are up 2-1. I was not expecting this. I believe I predicted the Warriors to make the finals and win the finals in one of our prior segments, but I mean the Celtics are just blowing everyone away. I mean, Jaylen Brown is emerging and it looks like he's better than Jason Tatum. It looks like Steph Curry has no help, which is surprising because he's a 3-time champion. There's just so many unexplainables in this series so far.
One of those unexplainables is that Draymond Green hasn't necessarily been Draymond Green throughout the course of this series, where and any semblance of physicality, I guess, with this Warriors team starts with number 23.
You're right. And it seems like Draymond's focus is not on basketball, but it seems like Draymond isn't even the same Draymond that he was in years past. We haven't known him as a scorer, but he impacts the game in different ways. But I think he has less than 15 points this total series, and he's really not even impacting the game in any other ways. He's not being the defensive anchor that we usually think he is. So it's kind of weird to see how Draymond is playing, and he's kind of focusing on everything besides winning the finals.
And the thing about that for Steve Kerr and the Warriors coaching staff is you can't scheme because you don't know what he's going to bring or not. I mean, the lack of consistency in his play really has to make it tough for them to figure out how to attack these Celtics otherwise.
You're exactly right. And like I said, usually Draymond can help out on the defensive glass where they've been hammered. And it seems like the Celtics are getting all these offensive boards and getting second chance opportunities. And we know the Warriors aren't going to get taller, but they usually beat you with that physicality led by Draymond Green, like you said. But it seems like it's just not there in this series so far.
That's got to be frustrating. I mean, if you're a Warriors fan, certainly if you're a Warrior.
Right. It's definitely frustrating from a fan's perspective, but the Warriors, I mean, they're accustomed to getting to this stage and performing at the highest level. Draymond, Steph, Clay, everyone that's been a part of those Warriors championship teams, they've expected to produce, and it seems like only Steph Curry is producing, and he's not even really doing it for four quarters. He's doing all he can, but Clay is spotting up and not making jump shots. Draymond has his head in other places. I mean, where is Curry going to get the help from?
It probably not from Klay Thompson, who let me tell you, Celtics fans are I'm loving this. Klay Thompson and Draymond Green are obviously the targets for Celtics fans. How about this injury report? Klay Thompson, questionable, got his feelings hurt. I mean, that's one of the things that you don't really understand about Boston until you're there, especially in a series that in a final series. You're coming from, Golden State has played Dallas, which, and Memphis, which Memphis fans were just happy to be there and they were excited about their team, but they weren't worried about your team. Boston fans don't give a crap. They're coming at you. They're coming after you, and you have to figure a way to deal with that on the road. And obviously, they had no answer for it in Game 4. So how can they deal with it tonight, or will they be able to deal with it, or will the Celtics run away with this one as well?
I think the Warriors do shake back and really show that mental toughness that we're accustomed to seeing them have. I mean, Draymond Green just has to get his head back on straight, plain and simple. But Klay Thompson, I mean, he's not known as a talker, but you saw in the post-game conferences, he expressed that his feelings were hurt and his mind is on the Boston Celtics fans. But we know Klay Thompson to lock in and go for 37 in the quarter. So, I mean, I believe that Klay Thompson can lock in and do that. And we know what Curry's going to bring. He's brought it all series. But I think the Warriors are going to win this Game 4. And I think it's a must win for them because if they don't, Boston's going to run away and win the series.
Absolutely. I think the question, though, Landon, is once you start acknowledging the fan base, haven't they already won?
Definitely. I believe if you're focused on the fan base and you're listening to what they say and you're already a 3-time champion, that's something you should not be worrying about. And you've been here so many times. So it's kind of puzzling to see the stars like Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. Steph Curry hasn't said much, but see those stars focus on other things besides winning the finals. I mean, it's just puzzling from a fan perspective, and it's got to be frustrating for Coach Steve Kerr.
At the same time, it's got to be fantastic for the Celtics. I mean, it feels like this fan base has really taken on that 6-man type mentality, and they obviously are having an impact. And I just don't know, Landon, if they can shake that. I mean, you'd like to think that the Golden State Warriors have been in these positions before and they know what it takes and that kind of thing. But the fact that that this is even a factor makes you wonder if it is something they can overcome. And, you know, with Boston having won, game 1 in Oakland, San Francisco, wherever it is that they play now, they've now got the home court advantage. And so, like you said, Golden State's got to steal one in Boston, and ideally tonight would be it, because going down 3-1, even if you've got 2 more back at your place, that's not real comfortable.
You're exactly right. And we've seen throughout the series, Tennessee alumni, Grant Williams, he's getting in Draymond's head. I mean, led by Marcus Smart, the Celtics have that hard-nosed defense, but it's kind of rubbing off on those other role players like Robert Williams and Grant Williams, and they're kind of taking on that mantra from the fans, and they're feeding off of each other, and it really has the Warriors shook.
Listen, Grant Williams has played nothing but tenacious defense in this entire postseason. Every time I watch the Celtics, I watch this guy take on some of the better players, offensive players on their opposing team, and he is relentless in his defensive pressure. And, you know, a lot of times, if you're not used to that, it's hard to. And a guy like Grant Williams, if his stature, is hard to power through. I mean, the Warriors don't have a whole lot of big guys. They don't have a lot of strong guys, which is one of the reasons that the Memphis Grizzlies should have been able to take care of them, but that's neither here nor there. But, you know, Jaylen Brown, you mentioned Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart, first trio from a team to have 20 points, 5 boards, and 5 assists in the NBA Finals since Kareem, Magic, and Coop did it in '84 for the Lakers.
I mean, they're doing it at all 3 stages of the game. Jason Tatum had a bad game 1. He's dishing out assists to his teammates. Jaylen Brown is killing it on all 3 levels. And Marcus Smart is bringing the defense, but he's scoring, which makes the Celtics so dangerous.
Game 4 tonight, 8:00. Should be interesting. I mean, you hate that backs to the wall type cliche, but really, this is one Golden State's got to have. And I don't know I don't know how exactly they go about getting it, but you know, coming off this 116-100 loss to Boston in game 3, they got to figure something out.
For sure.
The Celtics will wear their association jerseys, which are the old school, big, you know, white jersey, big Celtics across it. No frills, no nothing. White and green trim. They are not expecting to come back to Boston without a trophy.
They're not.
And I think
not at all.
That's the thing is, you know, you went into this series thinking, okay, Golden State's got this. Well, somebody forgot to tell the Celtics, because they truly believe, especially after that game 1 win, and maybe that's why they believe it, but they truly believe that this is their series to lose.
What's funny is none of these games has really been close. Boston 120-108 in game 1. Golden State 107-88 in game 2. And then again, Boston 116-100 on Wednesday night. So what's that? That's 12. That's 19 and 16. So, I mean, we have yet to see a game decided by fewer than 10 points. That's crazy how the way it's fluctuated.
And yet the Celtics have made 2 more field goals and both teams have the same amount of 3-pointers in the series.
So it's all about free throws.
Well, it's just the fact that they've made so many more in one game and so few and so more, much less in the second game. It's evened out because they've all been blowouts.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting there. And Golden State plus 43 in the third quarter, Boston plus 40 in the fourth quarter. Because if you get beat up for 3 quarters, that fourth quarter is tough to play. Landon Secrest here with us on Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint.
Landon Secrest joining us remotely from Rosemary Beach, Florida. Landon, how's it going down there?
It's going great. I'm actually tuning in right now from my lakeside beach house. So I'm here. I'm enjoying myself, but I'm also enjoying talking NBA basketball with you guys.
Well,
lakeside beach house.
Lakeside beach house.
Yeah,
so
lakeside on one side, beach on the other.
The best of both worlds.
This kid killing the game right here. When you coming home, man?
I'll be home Sunday.
Okay. All right. Well, safe travels coming back, and we appreciate you taking some time from the lakeside and the beach to be with us here on Main Street Sports today. We'll catch up with you.
Thank you. Take care.
All right.
Spring Hill graduate, Belmont Rising sophomore Landon Secrest joining us here on Main Street Sports today. We're really happy to have him as a part of what we do.
Yeah, no question. He is he's definitely the most knowledgeable basketball person I know. Now, JP does have quite a bit of NBA. He watches more NBA than we do.
I think he does. But
I mean, experience, but that doesn't necessarily.
But you still watch it more than we do. I think you enjoy basketball a little bit, NBA basketball a little bit more than we do. It's interesting.
Not much more, but I'll watch some. I watched enough while covering the Bobcats. I watched every game for 5 straight years. So
it's a lot.
Yeah,
and watching the Bobcats will cure you of wanting to watch much NBA basketball.
Well done. Had enough for a lifetime.
What are we looking forward to this weekend? We'll tell you when we come back here on Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. Stick around.
Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao, Mo Patton, JP Plant, final segment of the week. Looking ahead to the weekend. It's your weekend look ahead, sponsored by Your Business Here. Are you a eye doctor or glass maker? They would like to
The outlook.
sponsor our look ahead to the weekend. Then, boy, do we have a deal for you.
We got a spot.
What's going on this weekend that you guys are most interested in?
I'm going to the Sounds game tomorrow night, and apparently I've got Sweet, S-U-I-T-E, not S-W-E-E-T.
Not like Rick.
Tickets. No, not like Rick. So.
Doing your best, Balls head coach humble brag there, huh?
Yeah.
Did Peyton Manning set those up for you?
No, not quite. Not quite. No,
Are you
no.
going to wear your Sounds jersey and hat?
Quite possible.
Full on uniform?
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might as well, right?
I mean, if you can't wear it there, Bo,
Where can you wear it? Yeah. So yeah. And Jody's oldest brother and his wife are somewhere between here and Florida, heading back to Wisconsin. So they're coming through tonight, and I think we're going to hang out a little bit. So it's going to be a pretty chill evening, and then Sounds tomorrow night, and in between, I'll probably be watching Super Regionals. So.
I think Super Regional is what I'm most looking forward to. Obviously tonight, Blade Tidwell on the bump for Tennessee. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
The pride of Loretta.
Cool. I have 2 weddings this weekend, so
Saturday and Sunday.
Most of my time will be spent with that.
Where and where?
War Trace at my normal spot, Beaucheville, and the other at Allenbrook Farms in Spring Hill.
Where?
Allenbrook Farms in Spring Hill.
All right.
Should be fun. But the final USFL games at Protective Stadium this week.
Final regular season games? Or
no, it's just the final games at Protective Stadium, because next week they will have to be at Legion Field due to the World Games setting up. So for opening ceremonies. So they will be at Protective Stadium for the final time this week. New Jersey Generals and Michigan Panthers Saturday at noon on NBC. Birmingham Stallions at 5 o'clock kickoff against the Gamblers and Kevin Sumlin. That'll be on USA Network. The Bandits and the Breakers on Sunday at 3 o'clock, and 6:30 kick for Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. So
now, where are they in their regular season?
It is week 9, so this is the next to last week.
Okay, so next week will be at Legion Field
for the final week.
And how will they do the playoffs?
So
1 and 8.
No, it's they're doing semifinals.
Oh, it's only the top 4,
but it's not top 4. It's Division 1 and 2 play each other, and the winners go to the championship. So if you're the 3rd team in the North Division and you've got a better record than the 2nd team in the South Division, too bad, so sad.
So it's divisions.
Yep, they've got a North Division and a South Division. Birmingham has won the North Division.
That's right. Birmingham has won the North Division.
I'm sorry, South Division.
Oh.
Sorry, South. Sorry. So Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Birmingham, and Houston in the South. Obviously, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Michigan, New Jersey in the North. But yes, so that should be.
So Birmingham has wrapped up the South. They are undefeated, and they're 3 games clear of New Orleans.
That's correct.
Wow.
The Generals are 7-1 and leading the North.
Their only loss, the last minute defeat to Birmingham in week 1.
Oh, wow. Okay. The Stars are 5-3, and then both the Panthers and Maulers are 1-7. So this is pretty much decided.
Looks like New Jersey and Philadelphia. Yeah, they're in the playoffs, and the
The number 2 spot out of the South is about the only.
And they play this weekend.
The Breakers and the Bandits do?
The Breakers and the Bandits play this weekend.
Oh, Larry Fedora.
Yeah. Against
Playing for
Todd
a playoff
Haley.
Spot.
Okay.
And Bruno Reagan.
No, Bruno's hurt.
Oh.
Yeah, he busted his knee up and against the Stallions, I think.
Oh.
And
done for the year?
So he's done for the year. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but
it is unfortunate.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. Trying to, I think that Breakers and Bandits game will be good, and then they'll be at Canton for the playoffs for 2 weeks.
So the playoffs will all be at Canton?
Yes, all 3 games
over 2 weekends.
Yes, the championship game will be July 2nd or 3rd, I think.
So a Saturday semifinal, Sunday semifinal, and then following weekend.
Probably.
Yeah. What do you think about taking the second place in the division and not wild cards? I would think with as small group as it is, you would take the wild card, right?
I would think as small a group as it is, you take everybody.
You win. You could. You win your division. You got your top 2 seeds, and then the next best 2 records.
No, you can't take everybody, because what if Pittsburgh was to come out and win the darn thing and they're 4-9 overall and they're the champion?
Oh, hey,
no, you can't take everybody.
Well, I mean, there's something to be said for getting hot at the right time.
Sure, but as illegitimate as many people see spring football, you can't make it worse by taking a 1-7 teams to the playoffs.
Well,
it's like the high school playoffs in Tennessee.
Hey,
2-8.
Hey, easy.
So, I mean, yeah.
Well, to your point though, there's only one team that isn't in your top 2 that's even at 500, because again, the Stallions are 8-0, the Breakers are 5-3,
and then
the Generals are 7-1, the Stars are 5-3, and then the Bandits are 4-4. The Maulers, the Gamblers, and the Panthers are all 1-7. So
that's wild.
Even if you were going to take your 2 division champs and then take the next 4, there's going to be a 1-7 team.
So what have we learned here? Mascots that are positive and not negative, obviously doing better, right?
Stallions and Generals, yeah,
Stallions
and
Generals,
Stars,
as opposed to
Bandits,
Maulers,
Gamblers, Maulers. Yeah, it's true. You positive always wins in the end. Positive always wins in the end.
What about Breakers?
Yeah, they're okay too.
Breakers are positive.
Yeah,
it's like a surf breaker.
Well, I
right?
know what. Yeah,
it's not anything negative. It's great for surfers.
There you go.
It's a positive for surfers.
There you go.
So there you go. It's like all I got. Not a lot of surfing or breaking going on in the waves in New Orleans, though. I don't really know how.
I don't know that.
They were. I believe. Well, they were in Portland.
They were.
So that's where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
They just kept the nickname when they moved to New Orleans.
It's sort of like the Utah Jazz.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or the Los Angeles Lakers.
There you go. Final update, guys, on the Super Regionals from today, as we were doing throughout the show. East Carolina final 13-7 over Texas, and Oklahoma still 3-0 over Virginia Tech. That through 4 innings now.
There you go. All right. That's going to do it for this week's show. We appreciate it. I will see you in 11 days, something like that ish. Yeah, 11 days.
On the 20th.
Yes, back on the 20th. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate it.
Y'all need to check us out next week as JP and I hold it down, and we've got a nice little roster of guest hosts. Should we disclose them or should we wait?
I think you go ahead. Let's put it out there.
Monday, joining JP and I will be the godfather of Nashville Sports Talk Radio, George Plaster. On Tuesday, we will have Andrew Earl Moore in studio.
Ooh.
On Wednesday, our friend from the Williamson Herald, Charles Pulliam, will be in studio. Thursday, Teresa Walker will be Mike's side. And on Friday, News Channel 5 sports anchor Steve Lehman will be joining us for the full ride. So,
should be fun.
Should be fun. Looking forward to it. Come back with us on Monday.
All those
2
in the
o'clock.
studio?
No. Andrew and Charles in studio. The other 3 you will be bringing in.
George will be in studio too, right?
You-
I think so. Yeah.
He probably will be. He was last time.
So
I didn't know. I didn't know if he was coming to Columbia or not.
that's the assumption I got from him. Yes.
But
I think we should
I just hope
confirm that.
I just hope that you put him in the same seat that I put him in and ask him all the questions, but because he's not used to that. It's always fun to watch him. It's fun to watch George squirm a little bit.
It's fun to watch George answer questions instead of ask them.
Exactly. All right, that's going to do it. JP and Chris saying goodbye, and Mo saying,
ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.